This video will be about the understanding of Plato's metaphysics and epistemology with respect to the intelligible world only. To begin, we must understand what Plato means by the term intelligible world. He divides the worlds into the visible world and the intelligible world. The visible world consists of our five senses, while the intelligible world is a perfect and unchanging form. On the other hand, Plato believes that the visible world is not a true reality. These forms are the very existence of a lot of things. They are perfect and universal concepts that exist independently of the material world. So, as Plato sees the intelligible world, he believes that it is a perfect and eternal reality. The forms that connect to the intelligible world are true substance of what exists. Everything we perceive in the material world is only a limitation of the forms in the intelligible world. As for example, while a perfect circle can be drawn in the physical world, there is no perfect circle that are subject to change, which is why the form of the circle is perfect and way beyond our senses and only can be understood by intelligence So Plato's theory of knowledge is that it is the highest form of knowledge, and it is sorry, I'm reading off my computer. I wrote down the notes before. To Plato, the highest form of knowledge is not knowledge of the material world, but knowledge of the forms. So, as I mentioned before, the visible world can access through senses, which gives us an opinion. But true knowledge can only come from understanding the intelligible world. So, true knowledge is knowledge of the eternal and changing forms. Knowledge of the form of beauty, for instance, is not based on a beautiful object in the world. It is the understanding of the idea of beauty itself, which is perfect, pure, and it does not change, nor does it decay. And that's what Plato considers true knowledge, is that it's the world of eternal truths and unchanging forms. So Plato's metaphysics and epistemology would suggest that we look beyond appearances and strive for knowledge in the eternal forms. And according to Plato, there are different forms such as perfect and eternal, which, for example, would be the form of beauty, and how what beauty truly is, and how each object has its own beauty to it, and it does not age, it does not become imperfect. Another form would be universal and abstract, which would show how universal concepts can make form in the visible world. But, for example, a painting is only beautiful because it imitates beauty. Sorry, I lost track. I wrote a lot. And how non-material, they are obviously non-physical, and they are only accessible to the mind and intelligence, which is not the senses compared to the visible world. And He explains that there is a true difference between knowledge and opinion. He believes that true knowledge can only be in the forms in which they are perfect, while opinion is obviously always changing.